Well, we did ask affected local councils and the government for an interview, but nobody was available this evening. I am now joined, though, from Aberdeen by the chair of the Work and Pensions Select Committee, Anne Begg. Well, Anne, there's many conclusions you can draw from Kieran's report there, but one of them must be, surely, that councils have to do better checks on who they're paying out the housing benefit money to.
Well, they certainly have to make sure they're paying it out to the correct person. Generally with local housing allowance, which is the housing benefit for those who are private tenants and in private rents, it goes into the hands of the tenants, and then it's the responsibility of the tenant to pay the landlord. But obviously in this arrangement, the landlord also needs to be aware of what they might be doing if they're handing over the responsibility for the administration of their property to an agent. And obviously there must be some kind of relationship between the landlord and the agent company, and in this case it seems to be the agent company that seem to have the right to collect the rent on behalf of the landlord.
Well, with this model where you've got a middleman essentially collecting housing benefits from the council and then guaranteeing landlords their rent, is that a flawed model, do you think?
Well, until I saw your piece, I wasn't really aware of just how widespread this seems to be. I can understand why landlords might want to hand over to someone to administer their properties for them, and that's not unusual. But it seems to be that they've found a way, or some of these companies are setting up to find a way of getting some of the housing benefit in. One of the concerns that my select committee has had is that because of the pressure on housing and getting people houses, that many people in housing benefit find it very difficult to find landlords who will accept housing benefit claimants anymore. And what you had in your package were houses that were in very, very bad disrepair, and that's something we've been quite concerned about, that the quality of the housing that people in housing benefit will be able to access because of the various changes to housing benefit, which has limited how much people can get. That quality is really at slum level quality.
Well, you know, you've spoken there about tenants in houses that are in a poor state and so on. They've lost out, the public's lost out, the landlords have lost out. What does that say about Britain's dysfunctional housing market?
Well, obviously there's an issue around these agent companies, these companies that act as the intermediary. And I'm not in a position to say what should or shouldn't be done to that tonight. As I say, it's something that your report is clearly making not just me aware of, but the general public aware of. And obviously it's something that landlords have to be aware of too, as well as councils, that they could be handing over the administration of the property into people's hands who may not then pass on the rent that they were due.
OK, Anne Begg, thank you very much for joining me.